Welcome back, episode 3 of Land's End. John O'Groats on Triumph Tiger 900, GT Pro and Rally Pro. It's a series that we've affectionately titled the Visordown Ledjog Journey. Thank you for coming back to join us for episode 3. And let's continue from where we left off in episode 2 with the last portion of the George North interview.
Oh my god, that's royal. Get on the top, it's all of a sudden like that. Somebody's like switched the world into like 4K Ultra HD and it's just yeah.
It was funny though when you're pointing at me going, oh this is lovely, I'm like, you haven't hit the best spot yet.
So I mean when you were building that bike, just going back to it, did you have a picture in your head of the bike that you wanted it to turn into? Was that always in your mind?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm a sucker for air-cooled engines.
Yeah.
So that was something we discussed earlier. And I guess for me, it was a combination of a few things I'd seen, you know, online, Instagram, and what I'd seen in my head, what I thought was really cool. You know, I just thought to start with, I guess the base bike is such a wicked engine and like a lovely thing to play with. Then I just wanted to tidy everything up, so have no wires, make it real simple with just switches. And then, yeah, the rest, I guess, is, you know, Sid from Sid Motorbikes did a lot of work for me. There's Jody at Thorn 100 did the exhaust, so I quite liked that, sort of to keep it scrambler, but high level, but one either side.
Yeah.
And that was a real pain for him, because trying to get them all to match up was a pain, but he's done an amazing job there.
I bet it's loud as well, because there doesn't seem to be very much baffle in the bike in Baffle House.
Yeah, there is a baffle in there. You just have to look for it. And then you've just got, as I said, a bit of bolt-on bits. You've got some O-rings, you know, shocks and suspension there. Then you've got motone bits that again are on, and then motor gadget bits, and then just trying to keep it, as I said, real clean. And yeah, just clean and no fuss and just simple really. And that's, I hope. And the paint was done by a good friend of mine, Alistair. And I wanted to kind of incorporate like the baffle kind of vibe in there. So yeah, that's kind of how it worked really.
Very true. I mean, just going back to the bike, really, did that kickstart your sort of friendship with Triumph, or this sort of relationship that you've got with Triumph now?
No, I've been a friend of Triumph for years actually. Yeah. Been very fortunate that they borrowed me a few bikes when I was starting out. Mm-hmm. I've been a sucker for the brand anyway, because obviously being British and that still that quality, the heritage with it. But then, as I said, once I've ridden a load of them, and I had a go on my friend's Scrambler, the 865 engine, and I just sucker for that noise, the air cool, the 270 crank, and it just, for me, it was just like, this is, because I can't, with rugby, I think there will be a time where I'll have something a bit more snotty and a bit faster, but for now, for what I need, it's perfect really. I love it.
Perfect. So I mean, we've already touched on it, you just mentioned your injury. How is your recovery going for that one? Because you should have been with the British and Irish Lions, shouldn't you?
I was hoping to be, obviously everything was geared up for that. Obviously it's a massive tour, but unfortunately I think it was, 2 weeks before the announcement, I managed to rupture my ACL clean. So, and then what am I now, 10 weeks post-surgery, so just starting loading my knee and my legs up again now, and then I've got my checkup in a couple of weeks with a surgeon, and then got to push on then. But no, it's feeling good, touch wood.
all the wood.
Yeah, hugging every piece of wood I can find. But yeah, so no, it's good, thank you.
So you're going to be back to sort of training soon, rugby training soon, and then playing?
So how it works now, it'll be going back into loading my legs up again, get my knee firing, and basically relearning what to do with working my quad and my hamstring. Then it'll be into running and then into training full time with the team then, and hopefully I'll be able to sort of catch a bit of rugby this year. Yeah. If not, it'll be early next year then. But still a bit way to go.
Just a kind of a final couple of questions. I've got to mention it because I always find it a little bit, it makes me sort of cringe or wince a little bit. There is a bit of a culture at the minute where you see a lot of celebrities out there and they're riding around on these custom and cafe racer bikes, but they've never actually got their hands dirty. They've just gone out and paid an obscene sum of money for someone to build it, which is it's great for the people who build them, but then they're kind of like they're floating on somebody else's work around town. How do you feel about that? As you're the person that's sort of done it yourself, and like you said, you chop the frame yourself. And
I wouldn't take. I'll claim every bit of it, but I can't take 100% claim. I mean, it's horses for courses, isn't it? Really, some people, it's same in any walk of life. They want to either have a go and do it themselves, or they just want it done. And I mean, some of the work that's going on now, the custom work, is beautiful and stunning. But again, I think part of the joy for me and what we kind of do here, you know, our mantra here is share the ride. Again, whether it be you're just learning or you've been riding for 40 years or whatever bike you're on, everyone can join and help. And part of that for me was, you know, talking to the boys about what I should do with this, or what do you think, you know, what colour and all this. And for me, that is a big part of it. And yeah, I really enjoy just having a go. And as I said, it's a wicked sense of pride and satisfaction, and that you've done something. But again, you know, some people don't want to have that. If they haven't got the confidence to give it a go, then it works. But again, it's obviously helping the custom build the bike scene, and obviously that's been pushed on mentally with some of the stuff that's coming out now. But yeah, for me, I'm always a big believer in just give it a go. Really.
Yeah, get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
I sort of one final question, really. I mean, would you say that rugby is your occupation and bikes are your passion? Or is it the other way? You know, where's the line?
I would say rugby's my job.
Right.
And I'm very lucky to say that, even though my mother doesn't call it a job. So when I say I'm going into work, she says you can't call it work, it's just a game.
To be honest with you, that's exactly what I get. You don't have a job, you have a jobby. It's a job and a hobby.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, so I'm very lucky, but I would call that some more of a, anything like cars and bikes are more like a passion and hobby kind of thing. So this is it's wicked to have this opportunity to be with the boys, just doing something that we love really. So it's a side jobby, not hobby jobby. I don't know what you call it.
So listen, we're on the Tiger 900, so doing the Land's End to John O'Groats and stopping off and seeing some nice people on the way and seeing some nice roads. The road here was a little bit boring, and we've got a spare Tiger 900s out there. So do you want to go and show me a more interesting road?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Cool. Let's get our kit on and go for a ride.
Yeah,
cool. Thanks, mate.
No worries.
What a lovely fella. Next up, the fun bit. Now, whilst I stayed behind at Baffle House to chat with the locals, George and Toad hopped on the Tigers to sample some of the finest roads that South Wales has to offer. And with this Insta360 X2 camera, we were able to capture some incredible images. Genuinely some jaw-dropping stuff here. Now, rather than listen to me babble on, let's just sit back and enjoy the roads for a minute. Lovely stuff, eh? This part of the world is home to some incredible scenery, it has to be said. It's right on the footstep of the Brecon Beacons, which is about an hour's ride away from Baffle House. You take the A4042 out of Baffle House north or south and basically point your nose in any direction. You're practically guaranteed to find some serious roads. Again, the Tigers show off their versatile nature here, and considering this is literally the first time that George has been able to ride the Tiger 900 Rally Pro in this case, he settles in instantly to it. We captured the moment as he jumped off the bike, and it's safe to say he absolutely enjoyed it. Here's what he had to say.
So what do you think of it?
So I'm really impressed. I know we sort of discussed it briefly, but when I was riding it, obviously being a bigger guy, it fits me better.
Yeah.
But also it feels a lot lighter than the 800 because I've ridden that and I've ridden the 1200, and to me it's the perfect blend, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously everything's like, it's got all the obviously electric, good bins you want. All the toys, but for me it's just that sense of, it pulls so well, man, doesn't it?
Yeah, that delivery is you see what I mean, that it's kind of like a twin cylinder at the low end and a triple at the top.
Oh, it's brilliant.
You really need to for the full road taxi experience, you've got to take it off-road because they're so good.
Well, you're on a bloody road trip, aren't you? So I can't borrow it for any more, can I?
Well, what are you going to give us in return?
I'll give you the coffee if you want. No, thank you very much. That was wicked.
That was spot on. Thank you for that.
No, anytime. Always welcome here. Always welcome.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Now, once we're back in the grounds of Baffle momentarily, day 2 is quickly coming to a close, and we've got a lot of riding to do if we stand any chance of making it to John O'Groats by the end of day 3. So with our meet and greets now complete, a quick Google Maps search at this point reveals we've got a minimum of 11 hours riding time ahead of us if we don't stop at all, with a total of around 700 miles to go. Ouch. Worth mentioning here that both Tiger models do have the My Triumph app interface loaded up on the screens. So we could connect our smartphones to the bikes for the navigation and directions along the way, plus we can sync up our GoPros, manage phone calls and texts, and play music through our headsets, all through that TFT display. Super handy stuff, it has to be said. On the topic of navigation, the scary thought is that over the course of 2 days, we'd managed to cover a measly 300 miles, and with the majority of the journey still to go, it wasn't looking great. Now, we did have, of course, Victoria Pendleton and George North to meet on the way, and to this point we weren't exactly opting for the most direct route. So the realisation of our self-inflicted decisions began to really dawn on us. Considering we were planning to stop somewhere along the way this evening before completing the trip to the northernmost part of mainland Scotland, we really needed to get our wheels moving in the right direction. Now, with our batteries depleted and cameras off, we set off. Would the weather hold out? Would we get enough miles in the tank to make day 3 a slightly easier prospect? You just have to stay tuned for episode 4 of the Visordown Le Jog journey to find out. Now, for making it this far, we really do appreciate your positive comments along the way for the 5-part episode journey of the Visordown Le Jog adventure. Of course, whilst you're here, leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, leave us a comment down below, and subscribe to Visordown whilst you're there. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.